Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. In a large bowl, add 2 pounds or 900 grams of ground beef. Break 2 eggs into it. These will act as the perfect binder to ensure our roll holds its shape. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. Next, grate 1 onion. This releases all the natural juices, which is the secret to keeping the meat roll incredibly moist and tender. Friends, I always enjoy knowing where you're from. Please share your city and country, and if you're in the US, let me know your state. Add it to the ground beef. Then, finely chop 1 bunch of parsley. This fresh element cuts through the richness of the beef and adds a wonderful aromatic layer to the dish. If you have any questions about the recipe, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Add it to the ground beef as well. Stir the ground beef by hand until all the ingredients are well combined. Mixing the meat by hand always takes me back to my mother's kitchen. She taught me that to make something truly special, you have to feel the ingredients and put a little bit of your heart into the work. Now, let's make the side dish. Place them in a pot. Fill the pot with water until the potatoes are fully submerged. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Cook over medium heat for 30 to 40 minutes, or until the potatoes become soft and tender. While the potatoes are boiling, transfer the seasoned meat onto the paper and form it into a large, flat square. Thank you for being with us, dear subscribers. You can now support our channel by becoming a sponsor and enjoy early access to new videos. We truly appreciate your support. Smooth it out carefully to ensure an even layer, using your hands or a spatula to tidy up the edges. Working with fresh ingredients by hand is such a rewarding process. It ensures that every bite will be filled with care and homemade goodness. Next, let's get started on the filling. In a pan over medium heat, melt half a stick or 60 grams of butter. Pour in a little olive oil to help prevent the butter from burning. Grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. Fresh garlic releases such a wonderful pungent aroma that instantly makes you hungry. It is the heart of so many classic recipes, adding a depth of flavor that is simply irreplaceable. Add the garlic to the melted butter. Sauté it just until fragrant, letting that beautiful smell spread through the room. Now, take 5 ounces or 150 grams of spinach. Chop it finely. Spinach is such a fantastic ingredient. It brings a fresh, earthy flavor that balances the richness of the meat. Plus, adding fresh greens is a simple way to make sure we are taking care of our families with every meal. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. It's the best way to support me. Add the spinach to the pan. Stir gently and cook until the leaves soften and wilt. Then add 1 tablespoon of Philadelphia cream cheese. Mix it in thoroughly until it melts and binds the vegetables together. Remove the pan from the heat. Spread this creamy mixture evenly over the square of ground meat you prepared earlier. Next, pour some olive oil into a pan. Finely chop 7 ounces or 200 grams of mushrooms. There is something so rustic and grounding about the earthy scent of fresh mushrooms. It reminds me of long autumn walks and the hearty, comforting meals that always waited for us at home. Add the mushrooms to the pan. Fry them over medium heat until they release their liquid and turn a lovely golden brown. Remove the pan from the heat. Spread the mushrooms evenly over the spinach and meat layer. Now, grate 5 ounces, or 150 grams of cheddar cheese. There is something undeniably comforting about a generous layer of cheese in a family meal. It acts as the delicious glue that holds all these wonderful flavors together. Sprinkle it evenly over the meat and vegetables. Carefully shape the meat into a roll. Use the parchment paper to guide you, tucking the ends in gently to make sure all that delicious filling stays safely inside. Next, let's mix the dressing. Take a small bowl, add 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of grain Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of honey, stir thoroughly until smooth. This glaze has the perfect balance of sweet and savory notes. Now, transfer the roll to a large sheet of foil. Brush the marinade generously over the surface, coating it in flavor. This glaze ensures a beautiful finish and adds a savory kick that makes every bite delicious. Wrap the roll tightly in the foil to lock in the moisture. Cooking it this way guarantees the meat stays incredibly tender, reminding us of those slow-cooked family dinners where time and patience were the secret ingredients. Bake in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. While the meat roll is baking, check on the potatoes. Pierce one with a fork to see if it is tender. If it slides off easily, they are ready. Once drained, mash them thoroughly until they are perfectly smooth and creamy. Next, finely chop 1 bunch of green onions. Their bright green color adds such a fresh, vibrant look to the dish. It reminds me of picking fresh herbs from the garden in the summer, adding that perfect finishing touch to a family meal. Add them to the mashed potatoes. Then grate 1 clove of garlic on a mini grater. This adds a gentle savory kick that really wakes up the flavor profile without overpowering the dish. Add it to the potatoes. Now, grate 2 ounces or 60 grams of Parmesan cheese. Parmesan adds a wonderful nutty sharpness that makes the potatoes taste incredibly rich. It turns a simple side dish into something elegant. Add it to the bowl as well. Add 2 tablespoons of Philadelphia cream cheese. If the mashed potatoes are too thick, pour in a little milk. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix everything thoroughly until the potatoes are smooth and creamy. The heat melts the cheese instantly, creating a rich, velvety texture that smells amazing. When there are 10 minutes left on the timer, remove the roll from the oven. Carefully open up the foil wrapper. Brush the roll generously with the remaining marinade. This final glaze caramelizes beautifully in the heat, creating that sticky, savory finish we all love. It reminds me of the special Sunday roasts that were always the highlight of the week. Return the roll to the oven uncovered for a further 10 minutes to give it a stunning golden crust. Remove the roll from the oven. Slice it into thick, even portions. Arrange the slices on a plate. Add some of the creamy mashed potatoes. The tender meat paired with the rich, cheesy potatoes creates the perfect bite. It is a truly satisfying meal that looks beautiful and tastes like pure comfort. I hope this recipe brings the same sense of joy and delicious coziness to your family as it did to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today, but that's not all. I have a second, equally delicious recipe for you. Drizzle a little olive oil into a large frying pan. Next, melt half a stick, or about 60 grams, of butter in it. Watch it foam gently. It is such a simple step, but it sets the foundation for a truly delicious dish. Drizzle a little olive oil into a large frying pan. Next, melt half a stick, or about 60 grams, of butter in it. Then cut a 2 pounds, or 1 kilogram of. Watch it foam gently. It is such a simple step, but it sets the foundation for a truly delicious dish. Into pieces that are about 1 to 1.5 inches wide, or 3 to 4 centimeters wide. Pork is a fantastic ingredient, packed with protein, iron, vitamins that give energy and help keep our bodies strong. But beyond the health benefits, it delivers a deep, savory richness. When prepared this way, the meat remains incredibly juicy and flavorful, making it a perfect choice for a satisfying, nourishing meal. Next, lay the pork pieces into the hot pan. Season them with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Cook the meat until the bottom turns golden brown. Turn each piece over, season the other side, and allow it to brown again. While the meat is cooking, cut 3 white onions into half rings. Onions are incredible for vitality, helping to stabilize and supporting healthy digestion. Plus, the rich scent they cook instantly makes the whole house feel warm. Now, bring out a baking dish. The onion slices evenly over the bottom. Gently pulling the layers apart with your fingers. Working with simple ingredients by hand is surprisingly soothing. Think of this layer as a flavor foundation. As the dish bakes, the onions will release their moisture to keep the meat juicy from below, while catching all the savory drippings from above. It results in a rich, meltingly soft garnish that ties all the ingredients together. With 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, add 1 teaspoon of paprika, pour in a 1/4 cup or about 60 milliliters of soy sauce, then add an equal amount of Worcestershire. Next, take the pork from the pan and place the golden pieces directly to the seasoned onion layer. This allows the savory meat juices to soak into the onion. Below, it creates a rich, mouth-watering flavor that brings the whole dish together. Let's prepare the glaze. Add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a small bowl, tablespoons of honey, then add 2 teaspoons of mustard, cut a lemon in half, squeeze the juice from 1 part. The fresh, scent always lifts my spirits and adds a healthy dose of vitamin C. It is like a little bit of sunshine right in your kitchen. Pour the lemon juice into the mixture. Then, season with 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, whipping until smooth. Use a brush or spoon to coat the pork with. Honey creates a lovely naturalness, while lemon is a great immunster. It reminds me of the simple, healing ingredients we always kept in our pantry. Seal the dish with foil. In a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now, add half a stick, or about 60 grams, of butter to a small saucepan. Add 1 cup, or 240 milliliters, of milk. Then prepare 2 garlic cloves. Press them gently with the knife. This simple trick releases the essential oils, instantly filling the. Now, sprinkle in a pinch of dried rosemary. It adds such a lovely earthy note. Mixture simmer gently on low heat for about 15 minutes. This slow process allows flavors to blend perfectly. Be careful not to let it boil, as we want to keep the milk sweet and the texture smooth. Next, prepare 5 to 6 medium potatoes. By chopping them into small, even chunks. Keep the pieces similar in size. The rhythmic sound of chopping vegetables is so calming. It is therapy for the soul. Potatoes are a fantastic ingredient, humble. Now, let's transfer the potatoes to a pot. Pour in enough water to cover. Season with half a teaspoon of salt. Place a lid on top and allow them to cook for 20 to 30 minutes. Soft. To check, pierce one with a knife. If it slides in easily, they're ready. When the potatoes are tender, drain the water and place in a large bowl. Strain the mixture of milk, butter, garlic, and rosemary through a sieve over the potatoes. Now, mash the potatoes until completely smooth with a rich, creamy. Texture. There is a real. While the potatoes are set, let's make a salad. Toss a few handfuls of fresh salad greens into a bowl. Dice one bright bell pepper into small bits. These peppers are loaded with vitamin A. Then slice one cucumber into half rings. Cucumbers are excellent for hydration, and also they add a lovely fresh crunch, perfectly balances the savory meat. Place the cucumber in the bowl. Next, cut one ripe tomato into slices. The scent of fresh tomatoes takes me straight back to my grandmother's garden in She always said that a colorful salad was the heart of a happy family dinner. Add the tomato to the bowl. Now, let's slice one avocado. This is a wonderful source of healthy fat. Great for our skin and it makes the salad feel so rich. Satisfying. The texture pairs perfectly with the balance to the dish. Add vegetables, adding a love. Now, for the dressing, pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil into a small bowl. 1 teaspoon of mustard. Squeeze in the juice. The remaining lemon half. Add it to the oil. Season with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of oregano. Stir everything together until the sauce is perfectly blended. The combination of citrus and herbs creates such an uplifting fragrance. Next, pour the dressing over the salad. Mix it lightly to ensure the flavors reach every bite without losing the greens. Seeing the salad shine, it looks so appetizing. It is a small effort that brings a lot of joy to the table.